Okay, here we go again. I made a video, like it went too long, like it went for like 40 minutes, but still got in like 3 minutes and it stopped recording. Even though it says it's recording, it stops recording. This is like the third time I've tried to make this video, and like, they're hacking me, they're deleting something. Oh, it's crazy. Clearly they know that I'm onto it, and they're trying to make me not do it, so I've disconnected my Wi-Fi. Hopefully that I'll get the full video out, but this is how the Earth sort of is. Like, you got your flat Earth. People talk about the firmament around, but it's not. It's a bubble within. This is like cosmic ether. It's an egg. It's not like this. It's an actual egg. If it was just one plane, it would be round, but because I'll show you later. I'm looking. That's your central sun. Beams up, and you got your North Star. And then, if I show you, that's what's essentially what it is. It comes up, and you've got Polaris, the North Star, beams off. The energy, like because it's an energy, goes up and it bounces off. And where they intersect is your sun and your moon. Got your lands. I reckon there's a hole in the centre. Like I believe there is too. I believe there's a whirlpool in the centre. I'll get to that more later, but it's pretty much that. But like, you got your stars, which I believe the stars are, because source is down here, and the energy, like it goes throughout the whole, like its energy goes throughout everywhere. So the stars are actually energy node points of Earth, where like buildings used to be, because the whole world is structure. Like it's more of that too, but all the buildings were connected to like an interconnected circuitry system, like the ley lines of Earth. People know about ley lines as an energy grid, and the energy ran through all the buildings, and that's why they melted. But this isn't about melting. This is just about the workings of the realm. And yeah, so the stars are energy. Like imagine this one lines up because it's North Star. It lines up with this because it's in the center, and then every other one is like that star will line up with a land mass at the bottom that will have a building, and that energy node. When the cataclysm happened, I think it caused like an X-ray type thing. Everything went flash, like it went bang, and everything flashed, and it caused everything to light up, and it's left like an X-ray imprint of the Earth in the sky. So basically that's why celestial navigation. You got the stars for knowing where you are. They used to use the stars to know where they were, and it's because it's a map of Earth. The stars are actually a map of what's below. And once a day, I don't know when, but once a day, it's probably like at 12 o'clock, 12 a.m., 12 p.m. would be probably morning, 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. at night, 12, yeah, whatever it is, but like they'll all line up with below, as above, so below. But I believe that's it, but I'll show you why I believe that. Everything in this place is creation, is sound and light, frequency, which vibrates. Vibrations create energy, and energy has a light spectrum, and everything is sound and light. It's meant to be a hologram. Like we're meant to be ethereal, more on that another time, but meant to be pure energy beings, spiritual. We're not meant to be physical. We're fallen into a physical state because we eat, and because we fell away from truth and love, and all sorts of stuff. But this is a frequency, like because we are frequency. That is what this world is. And cymatics, if you've ever seen cymatics, I've got pictures on here, but it would take me too long to find. But if you look on YouTube for cymatics and find one that's got like a tile with sand on it, and the tile's sitting on a speaker, and then you play a frequency, and the vibrations manipulate the sand, and it moves around and forms symmetrical patterns. Well, that's how Earth is created. The sound manipulates the matter, and it forms Earth, forms the shape of Earth. Not the shape of Earth, but the form of Earth. It forms the lay of the land. And it's meant to be a symmetrical pattern, but it's a smudged up mess because the moon, I'll get into this more maybe too, I think I've got photos in here that show it. The moon is a map of Earth. That's like the whole Earth is the moon, and then the stars are like a finer detailed map. Like, so they're all got purpose, but this is a frequency. This is a 3D printed version of this. They've made this into that, and like each one of these is its own frequency. So it's saying that's its own frequency, that's its own frequency, and they're all different. They're all unique frequencies, which overall, all those frequencies make up the overall frequency of the realm. And that goes for everything on each disc. Like each disc is a realm. Like this shows that each one is its own world. Its own, I call it a realm. Each one is a realm. Well, it even calls it an earthly realm. Like, so that's a realm. That's a realm. That's a separate frequency and vibration. It has its own cymatical pattern. It will be its own. It could have its own species. Could have its own nature, like different nature, different plants that we don't have here. Like even though here's pretty much all weed. Like it's all fallen state. Like even nature has fallen into like a weed state. Like it's not its true self. It's not its higher self. Nature is meant to be luminescent and vibrant, and like it's all, everything has this is basically a hellish realm. It's once was heaven, and we fell away from, I believe we fell away from truth and love, and we started eating. We're not meant to eat. We're meant to be spiritual, meant to consume nothing but ether, meant to be ethereum. And because we started eating, our frequency got lower and lower and lower and lower and lower, and then source, which is actually below here, it's in the center here, and it creates this center pillar, which is an etheric, it's kind of like a cosmic etheric tree that holds each realm in place. And it's like if you're not watching, like what you were talking about with all the realms just all sort of scattered around the joint like that, there's multi-realms definitely, but it has to have a structure to it, an order. Like, and this frequency, how I showed you the frequency before, which looks like this, is how it has to be. Like it has to be, because it is frequency. Frequency is 3D. It would create a signature like pattern like this, and it definitely would. And I can't remember what culture believes that the world's like this. I can't remember, but they believe this is how the world is, and I can't go against it anymore. Like, I found that frequency just randomly. Someone posted it talking about just something different, and then I didn't get the photo at first, but then I ended up a few days later, it came back on my post, and it was like, boom! It just hit me. I was like, wow, that's how the world is. And then the same day, a different post comes up with this, and it's just like the synchronicities, you know, they work like that. They just you get what you need when you need it. Like if I had seen this a week earlier, I would have gone, oh yeah, whatever, and I just would have moved on. But because I just thought it, and I was like, wow, that's a frequency. We are frequency. Frequency would be 3D, like, because it wouldn't be just a sound, wouldn't be one disc. Like cymatic shows, it's just sand on one tile, making one pattern of one frequency. The frequency would be 3-dimensional. Like when you go ah, it starts as ah, and then it's like ah, you know. So it's like it starts ah, and then it goes oh, and stops again. You know what I mean? So the frequency is like that's whoa, sort of thing, to make the the overall frequency of the universe, which is the whole thing, which I truly believe, because of that, because of it all, like this, I reckon that's how it is. Your source will be in the center here, and you got the top realm, which is the real realm. That's the real world. That's the present. And then you got this one, which is inverted, upside down, shadowed, because it's underneath the light, so it's in the shadowed realm. It's an echo. It's an echo of the sound. This is the sound. Source is the sound. Creates this. And the echo is behind and below the sound, and it's everything shadowed and mirrored, and it's like what happens in this world plays out in this world, but it's all inverted and it's all mirrored, and it's like a reflection. Everyone talks about being here, you got to spiritual things, like to evolve the souls, like you got to deal with your reflections, and you got to deal with your shadow self, and you got to deal with your like it makes sense. Like we're experiencing all this inversion, which is all like it's all illusion. Like no one died in 9/11, and Sandy Hook, no one died, and it's all a movie getting made by actors playing out roles, and like it's not really happening. Like it's all inversion of what played out in the real time, like in the time where it did all happen. I don't know if that was up here or not. Like I don't really fully know how it all works, but I'm pretty sure this is how it is. Like I'm almost guaranteed it has to at least be one of these, and that's the universe. And these are all realms within the universe, multi-leveled musical universe. Like I'm almost certain that like you might be able to travel up the pillar, but I don't think so. I think because that's like a thicker ether, almost like the outside, and it's like But I think with teleport is like, say, once we're back to Ethereum, which I believe will eventually be, like we're working towards it. People are going vegan, and then people going fruitarian, and it's like it's all a step in the process to get back to Ethereum eventually, which is will evolve the soul with master the ego, bring them together, and then evolve them back to the higher self, which is the Trinity, the soul, ego coming together as one, and then raising their frequency up to the higher self, which is the higher spirit in the higher realms. And that's the Trinity. Like you've got Trinity in lots of things, like Trinity in mother, father, son, or daughter. Like there's Trinity in lots, and I think the world is Trinity. I think we're all ego here. Like we're still connected with our soul, and we communicate with our soul and stuff, but it's actually in another sort of realm. It's exactly the same realm, but it's split. That's because the vibration's all out of whack. When the cataclysm happened, when we fell away from truth and love, and we started eating, so our frequency got lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. And source is what creates the toroidal sphere that we live in, and it went through an octave shift, a cymatical frequency, vibrational energy and light shift. Basically an octave shift of all of us as a collective. We fell individually, we fell away from high vibration, high frequency, so our energies got lower and lower and lower and lower, like our auras, our soul got smaller and smaller and smaller. So the energy ended up going, the source, which takes our energy into toroidal spheres, it went boom and went through an octave shift, and to match our frequency, like, and it's in between notes. Like it's not a symmetrical pattern. Look at the moon, that should be a symmetrical pattern because it's a map of Earth. It should have a symmetrical, like I wish I could go find them, but it's in another folder and it'll take me ages. Just look it up though. If you don't know cymatics, got to look into it, because that shows creation, and it's sound. Everything is sound, which vibrates, which has an energy, which emits a light spectrum, and that's how it is. That is the world, and it's like I can't say that for sure, I guess, because like I got no proof. I got no You know, but this is within, and like it's so deep, and like everything fell into place. Like it just, the synchronicities with it all, and like it just is what it is. Like it has to be multi-leveled because it's 3D. The sound would be 3D. It would definitely not be just one disc. Like it just definitely 100% wouldn't be. Imagine a sound coming out like a wah. It would travel and it would be 3D. Like it just has to be. That sort of shows it. Source in the center, and you got the realm here, and that would be the multi-level realm up there, and then you got the upside down multi-level realm down here. Like whoever made this gets it. They get it, and they've created this. Basically, I don't know what that says, but it probably says something about the world. Like I'm not real sure what writing it is. But it's like, I reckon it would definitely say something about the world, because that's essentially how it is. That, but it's that. That's I made that. So you got source in the center. You got, this is where the multi-level realms will start up here. They'll be all multi-level musical realms. Each disc is its own frequency within the overall frequency it makes, and then down is the inverted. That's the center. That's where we eventually need to get back to. We need to. I think this is not quite right. I think there's a whirlpool in the center. Think tides, ocean tides. Like the moon doesn't affect the ocean tides. We know that much for sure, because the moon's just a projection. It's not even a solid. It's a projection from source, the central sun, and we need to get to the center eventually, because we need to. Like if you're watching Anona, you've talked about Shasta being the root chakra, and it's definitely a chakra. But imagine this is the world. Imagine say Shasta's here, sort of thing. It's just one of the chakras. There's one. There'll be 6 of them at least. I'm pretty sure 6 around the outside, and then the 7th is in the center. And the center is like, now you're talking that in the megala, like there's talking that's where heaven is, right? Like it is, like that is where we need to be. We need to get there, and we need to take it back, because they'll have control of it. That's kind of like you control the consciousness from the center, because the center toroidal spheres it out, and it creates the quantum field, which is consciousness. So we get here and we give it our love, and we spread our love, and it will get bigger and bigger, and it will start getting bigger and stronger and stronger and stronger, and eventually it will touch every soul in the whole place. Like the whole, there'll be no one that can sleep anymore. Like they won't be able to help it. They'll have downloads, they'll have inner knowings to go against their minds, and they're going to clash themselves, or they're going to fight themselves, because their mind's going to be like nah, but their inner knowing's going to be like yeah, and they're going to have a hard time. They might drop and everything. It's hectic. It's really hectic, because our job might not have even begun. We might end up with a world full of infant adults, like going to fry, like turn them insane, turn them back to basically like little babies, children. Like it will fry their brain. Their brain won't comprehend all this information that they receive in one big massive download. We've all had time to slowly awaken to all this stuff, the truth of the world, and all the rest of it. All the ones waking up are slowly deleting old misinformation and learning new information, and we've done it over time, and it's hard for us even, like it's hard to do, like. But imagine just going bang, just in one moment, like it's like the toroidal sphere is like getting stronger and stronger, and then it's like as it goes, it'll touch more people, so they'll all awaken, so there'll be more energy, so it'll go bigger, and then bigger, it'll look bigger, and then it'll go boom, and it'll hit everything, everyone, and they'll just get this massive download of all this information that their soul's gonna be going, man, it's like this, it's flat earth, and the brain's gonna, oh no way, it's globe, and then it's gonna be like, bah, too much, and the brain won't know what to do, because the brain hasn't had time to learn and visualize what it really is. So it's scary. It's a bit scary because like all our loved ones and stuff might full on drop. Like it's hectic. But the moon, like the moon is the map of Earth. That's the moon, and all this is land. It's all land. I'll show you. See, that's the moon. And that's the ring. Basically, that's going too far. Like that ring's too big. The ring would only be about that big, sort of thing. And that's the realm that we're in. Like, if I show you there, that's an image of the moon. Image of the moon, but it's been digitalized and turned into land. I think this is Vibes of the Cosmos. I think it's his work, and it, like it's sort of shows it, but it shows that that's the moon. That's basically exactly what it is. That's the map of Earth, and it's the image of the moon. So the moon is a map of Earth, and then all the celestials, all the stars, like say energy nodes. Like in here there would have been building big energy points. Like say like in Australia you got Uluru, like the big rock, which it's not a rock, it's a big melted building. Like that would have been a big energy node. So above it, once a day when the stars spin around once a day at whatever time it is, the stars will align with all their energy nodes below, and everything will line up. And so there it is. This map's hanging in like a UN building somewhere. And this is, I believe, this has to be the true map, and that's, you know, so you got this here, and there's like the Arctic and stuff. So that's where, if you said let's go to the center of the world, everyone will end up here, because that's where magnetical north is. That's where everyone would end up. But the true center of the world is like here. And that map before, and that's essentially it too. Like that is that, yeah. So you got your sun cycle. Like that's the sun goes round, keeps all, that's where we're living, and then in time, like it might be every 100 years, or like there's Jason at KX, he talks 138 year cycle, but I don't fully believe in him, because he talks a bit of bullshit, and I think he's paid up to not full on reveal the truth, but it's like a spirograph. Every might be like 150, maybe 300 years, it will end up being here, and it'll be keeping all this land melted and livable, and then the next 150 years or 300 years or whatever, it will come over here. So essentially all this will be left behind over the next 2 cycles. All the land that we know of, that we live on, will be left behind. Like we've got to move, we've got to get on boats or planes, and we've got to get to over here soon. Like I've got a feeling it's coming soon. Like, but if me, because I know, so the centre's here, yeah, so no matter where this is, no matter where this cycle is around here, it is constantly the only place that will ever make it through every cycle is what's in the centre here. It's the only place. So that's where they control the elite and all that. That's why they created Santa and the North Pole, because they knew we'd end up knowing that it's a big lie. And then it's like everyone's like, what's with the North Pole when they're kids? And Santa and but then you find out Santa's a lie, and it's like, well, you never think about the North Pole again. You just don't think about it. And again, it's not the North Pole, because the North Pole as such is the centre of the sun cycle, which is here. But the actual true centre of the realm is like, it will get through every single cycle. So it might get through 1,000 years of evolution, and it gets through every single cycle. And that's how, like, because we should live hundreds if not thousands of years old, and I reckon whoever's in the centre will be thousands of years old, and they're letting us all get wiped out. Like once this moves, the sun will move over here, and we get left behind. The sun falls, everything dies, freezes over, and we all die and get reset, because we're all eternal. So eventually we'll come back into a new womb and start again, and like, because whoever's over on these lands will have babies, and we can slowly put out, once it's your turn, once you've gone through your karma and all your stuff, you can come back to the womb. You'll be could be in a whole new family, whole new everything, and that's sort of, that's the evolution of it. But we should all move. If we all knew about these events and knew when it's happening, we should all go from there to there when it happens, and we should all move, and everyone should get through, and there should be no death and no pain and suffering, and it's these elite fucks that they're fucking us, mate. They're fucking us, and it's hectic. We've got to do our best to start to see this stuff, and to, well, you got to, if you know that eventually you're gonna have to move, when time comes, like, you will get guidance, especially if you're spiritual and you connect with source and connect with your creators, and you will get guidance, and it will tell you, get on a go, you've got to go now. And if you follow your intuition, you'll end up at somewhere. You'll end up at the ocean on a boat, or you'll end up on a plane or something, and you'll get to new lands when the time comes. But if you don't know about any of this stuff, your gut's going to be going, get out of here, and you're going to be like, what? And you're like, oh, I'm not going nowhere. Next thing, you're getting left behind, and fucking all hell breaks loose, and you're getting fucking melted, and man, it's hectic. It's hectic what's happening. Like, this world is a melted mass. It's in absolute ruins. So if you don't see the melt, you got to look at it. Go through my other videos and look. Like, it is. This kingdom was once a grand, majestic kingdom like you cannot even imagine. Like, if you don't get the meltology and the old world, and the mountains and melted buildings, and like, it is mind blowing what this world truly was. Like, it was more amazing than any fairy tale kingdom you could ever imagine. Like, it is. And that's, like, there's still remnants of it left. Like, the old world is what's left of the old world. It's all perfection. Like, even though a lot of it's cooked still, and it's like, it's lasted thousands of years. The buildings are thousands of years old. They're from creation. It was all from the beginning. The whole lot was one big massive manifestation, one big device. It was like a computer, or an amplifier, or like, I can't fully know, but I'm pretty sure it's like a computer with amplifiers in it. Like, some buildings were amplifiers, and some were like all different components. Like, you got all different. Each created their own frequency and their own bubble, which again makes up the frequency of the realm. Oh, I can't find it. Go to each disc. But we're on a disc, say we're on this one. It's we contribute to making that frequency. That all of us, the animals, us, the buildings, nature was all like, nature's not natural. Like, nature is melted red brick. The whole world was red brick structure. Whole world. Like it took me a long time to say that. A lot of research, and a lot of watching other people's research, and a lot of but the more you see, you just can't go against it anymore, because there's red brick found everywhere, and it's everywhere, melted brick all over the joint, and it's like, it's crazy. It's full on crazy. Like, you wouldn't think it, and it goes against the whole Garden of Eden story, which everyone sort of inherently sort of knows and believes in, because it's like, nature come first, then we build the buildings. But nah, like, and it's not that hard to believe that if Creator can create something amazing as the human body and animals and the way the body functions, and well, it's pretty easy to make some buildings with sacred geometry, make them like perfection, and that's what they are. And like, there's timber in a lot of them. The timber's not from this world. It's a manifested timber. It's not even. There's no tree here that can grow with that wood. Like, and makes handrails, big, like spiral handrails. It's all one piece of wood, and it's like, how do they do that? And it's because it's manifestation. It's like it's an imagination of thought. It all comes from the thought. And the power of thought, power of imagination has manifested it all into existence. And that's all the sound. It all started with the source sound, which I don't know what makes that sound. Obviously our creators, like mother and father. We obviously have to have a mother and a father. It's not a father in the sky, that's nonsense. It has to be a mum and a dad. And that's the Megala I talk about. That book has some good stuff in it. Like it also is still not the full truth. And I've found some stuff that I don't agree with, and like this, yeah. But it's better than any other scripture I've ever read or heard. It's got some good nuggets in there that it basically agrees with me in the multi-leveled musical universe without showing it and without saying it, and it's kind of like it's sort of saying it a little bit different, but it's essentially the same thing. But that has no structure to it. It has no, like, just realms being within the realm, the universe, and they're just all sort of their own bubbles, just floating around in their own little way. There's no structure to it. Where this, the frequency, and it becoming that, which becomes, with the echo, becomes this one. This one is like, there's structure to it. There's like, it makes sense. Like it's almost like a sacred geometry in its own way. Like its own. Each one of these is perfection, and perfection. Like it's all their own species, their own nature, and their own way. I mean, that's maybe what's happened with the different species that's come here. Like they talk the Nephilim and they talk Jinn and stuff. Maybe they were in a higher realm or a lower realm, and they've ended up matching our frequency and have fallen into our world, and that's they call them the fallen angels. Like I believe we're all fallen though. We're all fallen, and I reckon we're on the bottom realm too. I reckon we're actually here. So I reckon if we got on a boat and went to the center, not the center of the known world, but the actual center, like the center of the whole realm, I reckon there'll be a whirlpool that goes down, and the water comes down, and that's when water's down here is tied out, and then the water comes back up and tide comes back in. Like, I know water sticking upside down goes against everything we've all, especially because of globe earth. Like how water can't stick to the outside of a ball upside down like that. But this is different because it has its equilibrium. It has its own pressure, and it's like it flip-flops. Once in the center, once you go down the whirlpool, you go round and round and round and round and round, you get to the middle, and reality will flip around, and you won't notice it. You'll be full sideways, vertical, like full on horizontal on a boat, sideways, going round and round and round and round, like. But you'll, because of the force of it all, you'll stand upright still, and then it will get to the top. Well, it gets to because you're going down, but we're here though, so we're going up, really, but we're going down because we're standing upright here. We're standing upright, so you go down, 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 get to the halfway point, and it will flip, and then you end up coming out and on top of the ocean below, but it's really above. It's like, it's confusing. It's echo, memory. Like everything here is a memory in this realm. It's all a memory. That's why you get deja vu, and a lot of people are starting to have memories of, like, feel like we've been here before, done this before. Like, I have massive memories, like so much. I remember so much, it's not funny. And like, I don't know if they're real, I don't know, like, could be all made up, like in my head, imagination, but I don't think so. Like, a lot of it lines up with all this stuff, and it's like, the more I come to understand, like, the more I realise I know sweet FA, but at the same time, the more that makes sense with other things, and it just keeps happening. And because I made this myself, I got sent this image with the red and blue spheres, and then as soon as I seen it, I was like, wow, that's what I need. Like, and I made this image, put these of that is obviously that other picture, and I made this, and it's that to me pretty much is, I'm like 98% sure that that's how our universe is. and it's a cosmic egg, and it's like the cosmic egg it'd be a double egg. There'd be one there and one here. This isn't really showing an egg, but it's showing roughly what it is, and there you go. That's how I truly believe the Earth is, and I hope I'm right for starters, because I don't want to spread crap. But if you listen to what I say, like, it should make sense to you, and you two should probably see that it's almost has no choice but to be like this. Like, frequency is 3D, and rah rah rah, and sound would make an echo, so this would be there, and because it's below the light, it would be shadowed, which is why there's all the darkness happening here, and it's inverted because it's inverted, like it's an inverted version of the real world. And like, I believe we've got to get back to the real world. We're in this one. We're in the inverted world, and that's why everything seems dark and rah rah rah. And we've got to come together, and we've got to, look, I don't know how we're going to do it. We've got to get boats. Might have to borrow some super yachts off the elite, huh? That's what I reckon. And then we'll sail into not sail, we'll free energise, because their super yachts would be free energy. They run off turbines. They'd be free energy for sure, because only people that can afford them are the people that know that it's all free energy. They're not going to have stuff they have to pay for, and like, they'd be able to go for but anyway, I'll leave it here. It's already gone for 36 minutes. I hope it's helped you, and I don't know, because everyone's sort of seeking what like, cause we know it's flat, but it's like there's a lot more to it than that. It's not like that's just the basis of it. There's a bigger overall picture of what we are compared to what we're told, and we've got to keep going within. We've got the answers within, and that's where this all came from within. I've never seen anyone show this. I've never nothing. It's just like the synchronicities with everything else, and it just all fell into place. And it's all, and this is the end result. This is what I believe. So there you go. Anyway, hope you enjoyed, and hope if you don't get the melt, start looking, because like, I promise you, this kingdom is trash, and it really is. Mountains really are melted buildings, and it's phenomenal. It's mind blowing. The more you see, the more you want to look, and the more you'll find, and it just doesn't end. Like, this world is like, it's crazy. Rocks and stones aren't natural. They're not from nature. They weren't part of creation. They're all melted brick. It's all melted brick. If it's rock or stone, it's melted brick of some, like, that's it. That's just how it is. Like, you can't say I'm wrong because you haven't seen what I've seen. That's all I mean. Like, you got to see the evidence. You got to look. If you haven't looked, you got to look. And if you really want truth, if you want the truth of this realm, if you're really about truth and nothing but the truth, and you stand for truth, and you want to be a bearer of light and truth, and spread love and truth, like, you have to get and understand the meltdown, the cataclysms. There's been 5 at least on record. Freemasons have 5 of them on record. I reckon there's been 6. I reckon there's one they don't remember. There's one I believe it's only me that got through. I won't go into it, but long story for another day. But it's what it is, I think. But anyway, enjoy. Much love.